I had a message from Tina Edwards who wanted to know, what essential oils do you use for degenerative disease? And I went, I don't know, Tina. So I've been doing a bit of research for you, darling. I did have some initial thoughts which paid off pretty quick, and I'm guessing you might have already had them, since I know Tina just knows just a little bit about essential oils already, like a lot. So first things first is bones. We need to be thinking about how we're going to reinforce those bones. So if you've read my Spikenard book, you will know that bones fall under the rulership of Saturn, and yes, if they degenerate, then we need to be reinforcing them with oils that fall under Saturn's rulership. So Spikenard's a big one. I would also use some frankincense, because as the skeleton is obviously the locomotor of our body, it helps us to move, it holds our skin upwards, and it protects our interior organs. Very, very important. Probably arguably the most important part of the skeleton is the spine, built up of these vertebrae. And so when this goes, goodness me, what a lot of pain, because all of the nerves from the body, except for the olfactory nerves that go through the sinuses, every other nerve goes up through the spinal column. So as it crunches down, it's trapping the nerves. Even thinking about it, Tina, I just can't imagine what pain you must be in. So what I want to do is to reinforce using Spikenard. So yeah, I would also protect the connective tissue that's holding it and sustaining it, and the very best oil that I can think of to do that, to help with that cushioning and to restore the elasticity, is frankincense. So that's just lovely for the connective tissue, but also it's very calming, very comforting, and frankly, you must need a great big hug with that much pain, and frankincense is that hug. But more than that, girl, have you thought about taking some CBD oil? For those of you, I can't believe that there is anybody who will be watching my videos from my Facebook page who doesn't know what CBD oil is. For anybody who on YouTube it's new, check out the very biggest book in the world. It's cannabis extract. Now, it has been proven to rebuild bones, and if you haven't already, I would seek out Roxanne Benton, who is a fantastic CBD activist. Find her on my friends, go through my friends if you like, and she has a company called Aroma Matrix. She sells CBD, but I'm sure she won't mind me telling you, because I feel like she probably has been dancing telling everybody. When I met her in at the NAHA conference in Utah, she had a very, very pronounced limp, and recently she had her hip replaced, and she was drinking CBD in vast volumes. But her bones after that surgery just formed back so quickly. The surgeon was really quite astounded, I think. So Roxanne is your living testimony for the bones. I would definitely say to you, get some CBD inside you. I'm not going to spend ages explaining the whys and wherefores of how to use CBD, because it's a complex thing, but it's available on Amethyst on Amazon. It's a big book. It's a hell of a read. It's not for bedtime, guys. It's really hard, but there's a black and white version of it. This is the colour version. There is a black and white version, and also there is a Kindle version, and the Kindle version is a snippet of about $5. So I would say, if you're not reading the cannabis book, you need to be. If you've got bone degenerative disease, it's going to help you a lot more than any other essential oil that I can think of. Tina did say that she's got bulging nerve pain as well. I don't want to think about this, Tina. It's horrible. Funnily enough, I've just said this in another video that I've done, nerve pain. A specific for nerve pain is rosemary. So anything like sciatica or neuralgia, then rosemary would be the one that you pick. But I don't like rosemary. It scares the pants off me. It's too bossy, it's too penetrating, it's got too many contraindications with blood pressure, with neurotoxin, with epilepsy. I don't like it. So I've spent a lot of time trying to find an oil, and it's taken me 20 years. I mean, no mistake, it's taken a long time to find one that I think is as good, but I have found one, and that's tuberose. Sorry, it's really expensive, but it is super, super sexy. And you know, especially if the discs are low down your back, that's going to be affecting every part of that libido and how you feel about yourself and your posture. And tuberose makes you feel like Marilyn Monroe, darling. So yeah, get some tuberose in there. So what would I do? How would I make it? Well, your CBD, I'm going to say take orally. But I'm going to say also put a squirt into your cream. So a back. Would I use an ointment? No, I would use a moisturiser. I always work in 50 mils, which is really aggravating, I know, to everybody in the States, but I don't care. That's how I do it. But so you are looking around about a 2-ounce jar of moisturiser. I would put like the size, put essential oils in first. So I'm going to say 5 drops of spikenard. I'm going to say another 5 drops of hemp essential oil. That's not the same as CBD. There is an essential oil of hemp, and it doesn't have the cannabinoids in, but what it does do is really deal with inflammation and pain very, very well. So you've got your spikenard, you've got your hemp, and some frankincense, and I would say again about 5 drops of frankincense. Then we've got to add your CBD. However, CBD and water doesn't mix, so we can't put it straight into your moisturiser. So we're going to mix it into a carrier oil. For the carrier oil, I would go tamanu with a little bit of sea buckthorn. Sea buckthorn is just fantastic for inflammation, but everything goes orange when you use it, so you don't use very much. So I would go like a teaspoon of tamanu, and then just drop a little bit of, fill your spoon up a bit more with the sea buckthorn. Do you like all my very, very, very clear dilution instructions? I make cakes like that. Just about that, bit of that. So yeah. So we're putting making the carrier oil. Put your CBD into the carrier oil, because the CBD needs to be absorbed into oil to catch the cannabinoids. Once you've absorbed it into the oil, then you can pour the oil into the hydrating mixture, which is your moisturiser. Stir it all around, and you have a magic potion for Tina and a bad back. So I really hope you feel better, darling. And incidentally, if you do need any help, anybody, I do take private patients and consultations, so feel free to message me, and it might be that you want to have a private consultation, and we'll see if we can work a bit more deeply on it. In the meantime, darling, I hope you feel better soon. So there you go, my oils for disc degenerative disease.